christiangeekcentral.com.
All right, buckle up. This car has some spoilers. 2 spoilers this time, actually. Myself, and I'm joined by my oldest son, Asher. Say hi, Asher.
Hello.
And we just got out of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Palpatine. Oh, wait, no, The Rise of Skywalker? Why is it called The Rise of Skywalker? Show yourself while you talk.
Spoiler alert, first of all, Darth Sidious returns.
Yeah, but then shouldn't it be called The Rise of Darth Sidious? The Rise of Palpatine? The Rise of the Emperor? I was confused until the very end of the movie why they called it The Rise of Skywalker. Because in the final moments of the movie, when she's like all on the ground and all the voices, the Jedi voices of the past are saying, "Rise, rise, rise." I'm like, well, this is going to be the rise of Rey, and she's Rey Palpatine. So why do they call it The Rise of Skywalker? It's because she, at the end, calls herself, when someone asks her what her name is, Rey Skywalker. But she's not a Skywalker. She's not part of the Skywalker family, unless... I don't know, you were kind of wondering about that too, right?
Yeah. Which makes no sense. Why'd she call herself a Sky... Wait a second. I think I might know. Maybe it's because, maybe saying Rey Palpatine will make her feel like a bad guy or something, so she just said Rey Skywalker or something. I don't really know. That's just what I think.
Well, I think you're onto something there. I think that she probably identifies more with being a Skywalker as far as like her, what kind of a person she is, than identifying as a Palpatine. But I don't know, that still isn't super strong to me because her parents were Palpatines. I think she could instead redefine what it means to be a Palpatine. But anyway, I get what they were going for there. Okay, let's talk about our big surprises. You go first. What was like a big shocker?
Rey was a Palpatine. That was my first surprise.
Yeah, that seemed a little bit out of the blue. I kind of wish they would have talked about like who was Emperor Palpatine making babies with? Who would make a baby with grody, scary Emperor Palpatine to begin with, you know?
Exactly. Well, I didn't think about it that way. I actually kind of wish they just made Rey an actual Skywalker. Like make her like the sister of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Ben Solo, yeah.
Yeah, Ben Solo.
Yeah, or something, or like his cousin or something. Maybe we could find out that Luke at one point was married or something. I don't know. But it did seem a little bit out of left field. Like the writers were trying to figure out, okay, we kind of made a mess with the last movie. So let's scramble to figure something out here. But I still thought it was cool, even though, you know, I wish they would have explained a little bit about how we got to that point of her being a Palpatine, where she came from, who Palpatine was making babies with, you know. But, you know, I can forgive and ignore that, I suppose. What's another shocker, another surprise?
Another surprise was Kylo Ren showing up at the last moment or something.
Yeah, you mean like the fact that he turned to the light, or the fact that he showed up to help Rey at the end, or what do you mean?
He turned up to help Rey at the end.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he threw his lightsaber away. I thought it was cool how he kind of she like teleported to him her lightsaber, which was kind of a new force power they created in this movie, right? We've never seen Jedis teleport objects before, right?
Unless she just raised it behind her back, and without anyone seeing, she just let go and pushed it all the way around to, Kylo Ren's hand, without anybody seeing it, and just pulled it back and started attacking.
Yeah, but he was far away. He was in a different place at that time. So I think
he was.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Remember how he like took her necklace in that one scene when they were really far apart?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that was how they showed us that this kind of thing could happen with the Force now. And so I think that's what they were doing there, is she was using that same ability to teleport her lightsaber to him.
Okay, so, hashtag new Force powers discovered.
Yeah, totally. I wonder if people are going to complain about that. Did you think that was weird or dumb, or did you think it was cool, or what?
I think it was cool.
They also, I think this is the first time, is this the first time we've seen Jedi heal anybody before? Like Rey healed the serpent.
And then she healed Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren healed her back.
Yes, yeah.
That's the first time we've ever seen it in any movie.
Okay, all right. Which I thought that was a pretty good end for him, even though I'm glad it cost him something. I was, when it was happening, I was thinking, oh, he's just gonna, heal her, and then everything's going to be all super hunky-dory and stuff. And for me, when you do something like that in a movie, I like there to be a cost, and so it was cool that it cost him his life, We heard several voices whispering to Rey in the climactic moments before she pushed herself up off the ground, voices of the past. Which voices did you recognize? Any of them?
I thought I recognized Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, and you probably recognized him more than I did. I mean, your ear is probably more attuned to Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin in the prequels.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Hayden Christensen would return. I actually hoped that he would visibly return, that we would actually see him, but they didn't go that far. But it was confirmed when we were watching the credits that, like, Hayden Christensen was, one of the voices. So was Liam Neeson, who played Qui-Gon Jinn.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I thought I heard his voice.
And he also played Aslan,
Yes,
that, right?
That's right, yeah. And we heard his voice at the very end. We heard James Earl Jones' voice, who does the voice of Darth Vader in the original trilogy, but that was toward the beginning when Emperor Palpatine was talking to Kylo Ren kind of telepathically.
Yeah, but how did they put that in there?
Well, the actor James Earl Jones, who did the voice of Darth Vader, he's still alive.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's just really cool that a lot of the actors who played in the original trilogy, which was made, I don't know, 50, I want to say 50, but more like 40.
40 some. I mean, yeah, around the time that I was born was the first one. The first one came out, I think, 1 year before I was born. So about 40 years, 35, 40 years, something like that. And speaking of, Carrie Fisher, who played Leia, was in the movie. And they kind of used little bits of her that, there was a lot. The other characters kind of handled the exposition around her. She didn't say very much in this movie. And she couldn't, because they had to use old footage of her that was recorded for totally different scenes, than the ones that she was used in for this movie. But I thought they still used her well, like the way that she basically used the Force to reach out to Ben Solo, and she called him Ben by name instead of Kylo Ren, in the last moments, and kind of reached out to him, which she wasn't trying to do that to distract him so that Rey could kill him, but that's what happened. She, in reaching out to him, distracted him, and then Rey stuck him through with the lightsaber. Remember that?
Yeah, but that wasn't in the heart, that was the stomach.
Stomach, yeah.
So Rey was able to heal him.
That's right, yeah.
Straight after.
Yeah, but the effort took so much from Leia that she died after that, because she wasn't that, experienced of a Jedi. And we saw some cool stuff that kind of like explored Leia and her past as a Jedi. Like, we learned
that she took training under Luke or something?
Yes, there was a flashback scene, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a flashback scene. Like, Luke was talking to Rey on that island.
Show yourself when you talk.
Like, Luke was talking to Rey on, what was that island called?
I don't know, Jedi Island that Luke was on in the last movie.
Yeah, in The Last Jedi, yeah, that's where Luke Skywalker went to
just isolate himself, to be away from everybody, right?
Yeah, and so Rey decided, like, she was pretty disappointed, so she decided to follow Luke Skywalker. She ended up trying to throw the lightsaber into the fire, which she used to burn up Kylo Ren's ship.
Yeah.
But Luke caught it, and...
Yeah, Spirit Luke.
Yes, Spirit Luke caught it. And he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I've come here. Wait, what did she say?
Oh, she was like afraid of herself. And
Yeah,
so
she was afraid of
going
herself.
there, and he basically encouraged her to kind of get back into the fight, you know.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm just doing what you did. And then he said, that was wrong. What I did was wrong.
Yeah.
It was fear that was keeping me away.
Yeah.
And what was your fear? And then she said, herself.
Yeah, because she's like a Palpatine.
Yes.
Oh, here's another surprise we should talk about. General Hux.
Who's General Hux?
General Hux is the red-haired general of the bad guys.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Okay, go ahead.
He was the spy.
I know. We were like, I was genuinely shocked. My jaw, like, hit the floor, and I was just stunned, and I looked at Asher. We both looked at each other. That was the first big surprise of the movie for us.
Yeah, so hang on. So the stormtroopers are about to kill Finn and Poe and Chewie, those three people. And then General Hux said, wait, I want to do this myself. So he takes one of the stormtroopers' guns, and then while Poe and Finn are just having like a small conversation, General Hux shoots all the stormtroopers and says, I'm the spy.
Yeah, and you know,
I'm the spy you're looking for.
I'm glad they did something with that character like that, because I thought he was kind of a wasted character in the last movie. He was like a seriously evil dude in the Force Awakens, and then he was just like used for jokes in The Last Jedi. You know, all of the potential like threat and menace of that character was yanked out from under him, and they made him the butt of jokes in The Last Jedi, and I thought that was a real shame. And so, you know, it was too late, I think, to recover him as like a threat and like a real bad guy in this movie. And he doesn't live much longer after betraying the First Order, or the
First Order.
First Order, yeah.
Or what? Wait. No. Didn't the Emperor rename it like
the Final Order? Eventually,
yeah, the Final.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually the Emperor, the Darth Sidious, who came back to life, as we said before, renamed it the Final Order.
Yeah. But I'm glad they did something. I thought that was, of the things that they could do, that was probably a cool thing, you know. That's probably about the best they could do to salvage something from that character to make him interesting and worth having in the movie. And I also like the actor. I've seen him in other things, like he's the main actor in About Time, which I'll talk about in another video in the coming weeks. But anyway, yeah, so I'm glad they did something interesting with him before we said goodbye to that character.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. Oh, sorry, you go first, and then I want to ask you something.
It's too bad they didn't make him last any longer in the movie, because he got shot dead by one of the officers.
Yeah, basically the officer that replaced him, and became kind of the new head general of the Final Order. You know. Okay, so flashback scene that shows Luke training Leia.
Yeah, they were doing like a practice lightsaber duel.
Yes, which was cool to see that Leia has used a lightsaber before, and you know, but they were wearing masks at first, and then after they were done with their little practice fight, they lifted up their masks. What did you think about what you saw when they lifted up their masks? I'm curious.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like their faces. What did you think?
I saw the original Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy when he lifted up his.
Yeah.
And then I saw a totally different person when Leia lifted up hers.
Did you see?
I thought I saw like a different actor or something.
Yeah, she looked less convincing to me by a little bit. Their faces were dark. You know, you couldn't see their faces super well. But it definitely looked like CGI special effects to me. I don't know, did it look fake to you, or did it look like, oh no, that I could almost believe that was, because I mean that was
I can believe that both of them were from the original trilogy, because when I saw that Leia from Under the Mask, I was totally thinking of, we're going to see the old we're gonna see the old Leia, but I was just so focused on the Skywalker saga that I forgot. Oh wait, she's supposed to be younger, so
Yeah.
maybe that's what made her face look a little different. It was just younger.
Yes.
But I can believe that they might have been the original actors.
Okay. All
From
right.
the original trilogy.
Okay. So the special effects there didn't look fake to you.
Yeah, except for Leia's, I thought it might have looked fake, but then I kind of planted a little picture in my mind about Leia's face and put it in like the original trilogy. And I'm like, wait, I think that looks a little similar to the original Leia, so I could probably believe that they're both the original actors.
Yeah, it was brief and shadowed, and I think they did a pretty good job. But for people like me that are cursed to be able to pick out CGI, you can tell there's
What's
stuff
CGI?
going on. Computer-generated images or computer graphical interface. I mean, there's a couple different, anyway. But that just refers to computer effects, when they use computer effects to create, objects or characters in movies.
Yeah. Anything else?
Let me think.
Don't look at me.
Okay. Emperor Palpatine, or Palpatine, whatever he is. I guess he's, I don't know if he's the Emperor or not.
Fun fact, same actor.
Yes, Ian McDermott, I think is his name. And because he was so young when he made the original trilogy, they just used makeup to make him look old in those movies. He wasn't near as old as the character was. He's been able to play the Emperor throughout this entire franchise, and has been in all but 2 of the movies.
Yeah, what?
Well, no, that's not true. He wasn't in A New Hope. But
he wasn't. The Emperor wasn't at all in A New Hope, but
and they inserted him in the special edition into Empire Strikes Back. He originally was not the actor that played the Emperor in Empire Strikes Back. But,
yeah, that was a different actor, which I have no idea what happened to him.
Yeah, but
and neither do I care.
Yeah,
I like this.
I like him too.
This guy better.
Yes, no, he's great, and he really made the movie for me. I think that they needed to have him come back after killing Snoke.
Yeah, wait, let me explain
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
So, after killing Snoke, this is what my dad thought. He was like, that was just a wasted character. They gotta bring back a real threat, otherwise these movies might not be popular anymore. So we both thought it was a good idea to bring the Emperor back, and look what happened.
Yeah, and he had crazy lightning powers at the end to take out a whole fleet almost. I mean, he was super powerful at the end because he had all the Sith inside of him or something.
Yes,
I don't know.
He had all the Sith inside of him.
Yeah.
Plus, some of Rey and
Oh, that's right.
Kylo Ren.
Because he took some of their life force or whatever the crap.
Yeah, and then, so he kind of wasn't a dead person anymore.
Yeah, he was looking in a zombie state and always hanging from that machine the whole time.
Yeah, what was that machine?
I think it was what was supposed to be keeping him alive. They didn't explain how he survived the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
We don't know exactly what happened, but we can assume that somehow he just crawled to safety, and then, similar to how Darth Vader needed a bunch of machines to keep him alive,
he built something to keep him alive. And then when he took Rey's and Ben's life forces, he was like, I don't need that piece of junk anymore.
Yeah. But did you notice when we were first coming in there, into his lair where they showed tanks that had what looked like Snoke clones in the tanks. Did you see that? Do you remember that? So that makes me think, well, what the crap were these? Did he make Snoke? And was Snoke, in fact, some kind of a clone of Emperor Palpatine? That's what I'm wondering. Because in the books that came after Return of the Jedi, before they were making all these movies, they had a whole story, which I haven't read, but I just know about this from Geek Osmosis, that there was a clone of Emperor Palpatine that was made. And now that story was canceled when Disney bought the rights to make the Star Wars movies. They said, okay, everything that happened in these books that were written after, Return of the Jedi, that they don't count anymore. They're not part of the real story.
Yeah, but they made some of it count again by making the Emperor return.
Yeah, and it seems like they're kind of giving a nod to the idea of the Emperor being cloned, by showing these multiple Snoke clones. So, I mean, I don't know if Snoke is actually supposed to be a clone of Palpatine.
I wouldn't think so. I would think he's like... Maybe he's like a totally messed up version of... I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe he's some kind of warped clone of Palpatine. I don't know. I don't know why they would show us the clone bodies of Snoke and then not really explain, okay, well, what exactly was Snoke, you know? You're going to show us these clone bodies and not explain what Snoke actually was? I mean, I think that the Star Wars geek who knows about the whole book thing where they cloned Palpatine is maybe going to think, oh, is he some kind of warped-looking clone of Palpatine? But I think for most audiences, it's just confusing, right?
Yeah, so I guess it's just gonna leave us hanging.
Yeah.
Who is Snoke? Where did he come from?
Yeah. Any other surprises? We saw Harrison Ford, who plays Han Solo.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what? Harrison Ford.
Plays Han Solo.
Yeah.
And we saw him in a scene with
Ben. He was
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah, he was, he just, he took, place right in front of Ben, and Ben was like, you're just a memory, aren't you? And then he's like, you're a memory.
Yeah, so he's not like, he wasn't a Force ghost. He wasn't like Luke, you know, the spirit Luke. He wasn't like, and I guess that makes sense because he wasn't a Jedi, so he's just, you know, this was just a memory of Ben's, but I'm glad they brought him back. They probably needed to because they needed to have a scene like that where Ben is kind of like becoming, he starts caring about his parents again.
Yeah, and since that's what convinced him to, he just looks at his lights like, get out of here.
Yes, yeah, and I think they probably would have done a scene like that with Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher?
She plays Leia.
Oh, yeah.
I think they probably would have done a scene like that with her if the actress had not died. So I'm guessing Harrison Ford came back to kind of fulfill that same type of role in the story.
But I guess it's a good idea to bring him back because you don't see him as often as you do with Leia. In the other movies, you kind of see Leia a little more often in the Skywalker saga, but maybe not entirely often.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing a lot of him in the original trilogy.
He didn't even last through Force Awakens. Han Solo didn't even last through Force Awakens.
That's true, but he was featured a lot in the original trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah. But I really found the scene. Now, this is probably just, you probably didn't feel this way because you're how old?
12.
You're 12, and you don't have any kids of your own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think being a dad now, I was really emotionally moved. Like, I was really feeling emotional with Ben's scenes with Harrison Ford and...
Say Han Solo.
Han Solo, okay, sorry. And the connection that he was having with Leia at the end of her life, you know.
Listen, you can't just say a character from the movie and then say an actor.
All right.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, I've seen Harrison Ford in so many of the things when he's not playing Han Solo that it's sometimes easier to just say the actor. But anyway, I was really feeling connected, you know, emotionally in those moments.
I had that feeling too a little bit.
Did you?
Like when
Did you ever get a lump in your throat while you were watching this movie?
No.
Do you know what I mean by that? That feeling like you're about to cry? You know, when you get kind of a lump in your throat?
I never had the feeling that I was able to cry, but okay. I was like, okay, that's deep.
Yeah. They really went to some heavy places and had some real drama in this movie, didn't they?
Yes.
All right, well, I think we're just about ready to stop, but are there any other, like, surprises or shocking moments or whatever that you want to mention? Or, yeah, first that. Any other surprising or shocking moments? And then I'll have one more question.
It was the surprise that got me real good was that the Emperor, first of all, the Emperor had so much power that he, like, what did he do? He didn't destroy those ships, but he shut them down.
Yeah.
did he absorb their power or something?
I don't think he was absorbing their power. I think he was just kind of like shorting out their systems. You know, it was almost like you probably don't know what this is, but like an EMP blast, which is like an electromagnetic pulse that can turn off machines. You know, so I think it was kind of like that.
Yeah, because it's not every day that you see a guy with electrical fingers.
Yeah. So, did you like this movie? How would you compare it to the other Star Wars movies?
I think,
How much do you like it compared to the rest of the movies?
Compared to the rest of the movies, I would think that this is the best one so far. I think, even though some other people are going to say, like, Disney totally messed up Star Wars, not to me. I kind of thought that at first, but when I rewatched Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I realized, okay, maybe they're not changing everything, and that especially worked on me when I watched this movie. It was, I thought it was just like Disney was doing something like, okay, let's get rid of all those old characters and bringing some new ones, but that wasn't it anymore. That feeling changed when they brought back the Emperor.
Yeah. I think that I think it was a good ending for the Skywalker saga. I think it's probably my favorite of the movies now. I think that it had drama and weight and heaviness that they were going for in episode 3 that I really appreciated, but they didn't have performances. I didn't think that Hayden Christensen's performance and Ewan McGregor's performances were quite...
Who's
Ewan McGregor is young Obi-Wan.
Young Obi-Wan.
Yeah, young...
You mean, there are 3 young Obi-Wans. Which one?
Well, it's the actor that played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the episodes 1 through 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that we're going back to that trilogy, I just want to say, like, for the first one, Phantom Menace, I thought the guy who played Obi-Wan, I thought that was a totally different guy from the other 2 movies.
From episodes 2 and 3?
Yeah, I thought that was a totally different guy because he doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, no, it's the same actor. They just gave him a beard and different hair. But yeah, it's the same guy. But anyway, yeah, I used to say that 3 was my favorite, not because I thought it was a great movie, but it just was dark. It was allowed to go darker and heavier. But this one went heavy and dark, but it also had really good actor performances that I could really connect with, you know.
What do you mean actor performances?
Like, I believed when Adam Driver, who plays Kylo Ren, I believe in his acting more than I believe in Hayden Christensen's acting, who plays Anakin Skywalker in the prequels. You
said that for the 3rd time.
Yeah. Okay. So, So I just thought it all came together. So I think that this is my favorite of the Star Wars movies. And now I'm excited to see where they could take this franchise in the future. Now that they've finally put aside basically all the old actors, they've sunsetted all those characters either through death or they're just kind of like, you know, they've moved on. What would you like to see in a new Star Wars movie?
I don't want the Emperor coming back.
Yeah, me either.
Because if he just comes back again, it's gonna be like, wait, are they gonna keep doing this? Because if they do, then I'm just gonna get bored.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good idea to just have the Emperor come back just this one time, and then that's the end of him for the rest of the saga.
Yeah.
And then I would actually like to bring up someone like really powerful, not someone like Snoke who was terrible. I want them to bring someone up as threatening as the Emperor. I mean, no offense to Snoke, he was still a pretty good character in the second movie, and I think he did a good role, except for when he just surprisingly died.
Yeah.
But, I think they should bring a new guy, like, a new supreme leader. that's gonna last through the next whole trilogy. Instead of just 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I want them to last through the whole trilogy, not 1 episode like The Emperor,
Yeah.
not 2 episodes like Snoke, just 1 full villain.
Yeah, like Darth Vader was in the 3 original trilogy. He was a villain throughout all 3 except for the very end of episode 6, right?
Yeah, which he sacrificed himself to save Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Which totally surprised me at the end of the 9th movie. I thought that Kylo Ren was going to sacrifice himself to save Rey.
Oh.
But it turns out Rey's like all powerful with all the Jedi and destroys the Emperor.
Yeah.
For good this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's for good this time.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with next. I think a good idea would be to kind of let the movies rest for a little while, not rush into making another Star Wars movie like with Jedi and stuff. You know, just do the Mandalorian TV series and the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. Do those for a good like maybe 5 years. Let this series rest for a little bit, and take their time to really cook up a good new idea. And in the meantime, we can play some great, maybe hopefully great Star Wars video games or something. We'll see.
Oh yeah, they should definitely bring up some Star Wars video games. And like, you know how there's like Lego Star Wars 1 and 2, like the one basing off the original. Well, wait, I have Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, which has episodes 1 all the way to 6.
Yeah. But that's not really the complete saga anymore, is it?
Yeah, they should bring in like another thing like that. There's already a game, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, that I know of. They already made that out.
Well, and there's some other cool Star Wars games too that maybe I'll have to introduce him to sometime. Anyway, we got to wrap it up. We got to finish up here.
Hang on. So I just want to say, I don't really think I would like that one as much. It's a little different from the other Lego Star Wars games. So I was just thinking, for people that want to make Lego Star Wars games, maybe like make a Skywalker Saga trilogy Lego.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to find all the ways they can to make money off of this in video games. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for doing this with me.
# The Emperor Returns.
All right, that's all for now. Bye.